All right, so I'm going to talk about day one, my first day back to movement. Day one was not smooth. In fact, day one happened several times. In other words, it was supposed to be one day and became another day and became another day and it became another day. By the time day one finally happened, I was just going out for a walk, mind you, 20-minute walk. By the time day one finally happened, I was so frustrated with myself. It was like, you get out by any, I don't care if you just get out the house. If you notice on my website, I have a photo of a woman. Well, it's a rendition of a woman walking out with her hiking boots or hiking stick, and at the bottom of the hill, there's a door, and it's a rocky hill going down, footpaths. And her home is, you could tell it's comfy. And that's exactly what day one was like. Now, I have so many reasons which I want to get into as to why it was so difficult. There's a thing called dopamine drag or dopamine hole. It's when we go through this period of intense giving and work or whatever the giving is. It could be supporting other people, it could be just a job, it could be our own business, it doesn't matter. But we're so intensely focused on one thing and we give so much that the body is like, no, we're not doing anything. I know you held off moving, but we're not doing that now. Now we're gonna sit and you're going to replenish all that you've given out. You got to do that. And I think too often for me, what I end up doing is I give, I give, I give, I give in a particular area of my life. And it's not always to other people. Sometimes it's to my own work, my writing, my art, my whatever that might be. I give so much out, and because I don't take time to rest. And this has to do with hyperfixation and other things, which I don't want to get into. But I give so much out that when it's time to then focus on, oh, you haven't walked in 6 months. Yeah, you finished your certification, you finished this, you finished, but you have not taken care of the body that's supposed to help you through the rest of life. And then my body goes into this state of what I would call, um, I call it a dopamine drag, but there's probably other names for it. But it's literally like inside of a hole where it is so hard to get out of. And some people call it depression, some people call it, I don't call it depression. I've come to understand it as a rebalancing of excessive doing. You know, doing, I do so much, and then I expect my body to just be like, okay, just now go ahead and give to your leg. Now go ahead and give to the knee that's bothering you. No, my body is like, I need to rest. You may not have recognized that giving as giving toward the body. I recognized it. You might, my body's saying to me, you did not recognize that while you're giving so much to that project, you neglected me. So now I need rest because I still suffered. I still gave out a lot. I still, this is my body talking to me. Anyway, so during that period, because of my nature of doing, right, and thinking and moving and all of that, not physical movement, but, in terms of getting projects and things done, my body then refuses to do other things. It refuses to go for the walk. It refuses to. So I have to fight my own nature to do it. And it's never pleasant. This time around, by the time I got to get out the house and get out and leave, it was, oh, you're leaving today. My body was like, oh, you're going for a walk today. I know you. If you do not go for a walk today, it may be another 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 days. You're going for a walk today. Fortunately, I have this, I have my systems. And I think in the architectural world, it's called affordances, which is having certain tools in place in your home, even the design of your home to encourage movement. And fortunately, those exist. And I think it's also, this is the other terms for it when it comes to habit forming habits. I was able to then get out the house and go for a 20-minute walk. It took seven, maybe not seven, but it took multiple tries. to get out for a walk, a wellness walk, a health walk. So once that happened, of course, I'm feeling great. I went for a walk, uh, no sweating. It was super hot. So, but I didn't, it wasn't I didn't call it an activity walk because the way I restart best is not to push myself to accomplish something I would be doing had I had a consistent practice. Having been a personal trainer, I think of things like this. I need a reconditioning phase. And that depends on how long I was inactive. If I was inactive for a couple weeks, my conditioning phase might be 3 days. If I was inactive for a few months, my conditioning phase will be 3 months. If I was inactive I don't think I've ever been inactive completely for a year, but I've been somewhat inactive, then my conditioning phase could be 90 days, reconditioning. Because what I learned those many years ago is, like everything else, injury will happen, may happen. Not everybody can experience this, but may happen if pushed too much. And right now, injury prevention is huge because my healing have slowed down, and that's a nutrition thing. And that'll be another journey that I will share. I am doing it now, but I'm not going to share it now. But we're going on to almost 7 minutes. So I would say what helped was having affordances in the house, having things set up. What got in the way was just my body, my mind, the resistance. And notice how I don't I'm not beating myself up about it. That's not something that happened yesterday. I've been good at just moving forward without beating myself up for a while now. I give thanks to the times I didn't do it, the times I used to beat myself up, the times I used to, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just get out and go for a walk? Or the time I would compensate. Well, you need to buy new shoes because the shoes you have don't work, or something's wrong with them. You need to buy this. You need to buy. I would find a way to distract and not get to the point. And now I recognize that I have a body that has intelligences. And half the time it's just trying to protect me. So when I do something that goes against that body and then I get an outcome, that's something I just need to work around, be gentle, be loving, be supportive, be caring, and just ease back into it with love. And that took me decades to learn. So if I'm speaking from a perspective of like I don't do it now, it's not because that took me decades to learn. Um, so what am I going to do next? I'm going to close this out. Next thing is I'll do a video on the next 7 days. Bear in mind this I'm doing this after it happens, right? So I'm not going to be recording as it's happening. It's always going to be at least a week, maybe two, maybe more because of time factors. Okay. So that's it. That's it for now. I'm checking to see if I got anything. Um, First of all, thank you for stopping by and for staying a while. Okay. I look forward to reconnecting again soon. Come back and see how I am progressing on this journey. And I'll start sharing a little bit more deeply about the reasons, the health stuff, and what I'm mitigating and working through. Again, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you soon. This is Ermina signing out.